Hey you guys, today I wanted to talk about monsters in LARP, and so with me I have this little Halloween mask guy, so hi to him. So before we get started, let's go ahead and say that every single game is different. They all have different goals. Not every game has the goal of full immersion, and every individual has different resources available to them. So with that, we're going to just talk about the different ways that I have personally seen monsters represented in LARP, and I will also talk about the ways that I like the most. So, one of the simplest ways that I've seen monsters represented is things like sashes of a certain color and tabards of a certain color. And here in America, you see that a lot. And I think it's because you can clothe so many NPCs really quickly and easily and cheaply that way. And that is a very good thing. But one of the downsides to that is you don't look like the monster, and sometimes you even have to tell the players, I'm a spider, or I'm a blah blah blah, or I'm a bear, or something, instead of it being obvious. Instead of the players actually perceiving it, you'd have to tell them. Other ways are kind of a step up from that, where if you might pair face paints with it and masks and stuff, and sometimes you see an actual full costume. And this varies from many levels, and you have many parts of these different types pushed and mushed together sometimes. You don't always just see one type of monster representation at a LARP. Sometimes you see many different kinds. Sometimes you see a full costume that's head to toe what that monster should be perceived as, and there's no explaining. Sometimes you just have a tabard, sometimes you have masks and face paint. It really always varies, and sometimes you never know what you're going to see when you visit a game. And so it's really interesting to go and experience all the different types of representations of monsters here in America. My personal favorite, because it's just what I'm so used to, is the full costume. Um, and that's because the main game I play, I think they only have NPCs out there as monsters that they can represent so that they don't have to turn to tabards for something that they can't physically be or show, you know? So there's that. But also, that can get expensive, and sometimes it leads to fewer monster NPCs, which is what's at my game is very few, although it is low fantasy, because we only have like really intricate masks and like hand gloves, and because all of them have to be in full costume, it does get costly, and sometimes we don't have as many NPC monsters as you might see at other games. And so there is a downside to that as well. My questions today for you guys is, what kind of ways do you like best for monster representation? Um, there's no right or wrong way. I just would really love to know. It's really interesting to see the differences in different parts of the world and even different parts of America, and different games do everything differently, and it's just really neat to see the variety. Um, what ways do you dislike? Do you dislike, it could be even as random as, oh, I dislike Halloween masks with the strap on the back, or it could be something as simple as I dislike face paint because it gets all runny or something, whether it's because you don't like wearing it as an NPC or do you not enjoy it as a player. I would love to know. And if you could give your game advice, or if you could change one thing about your game's monsters, what would that be? Some other questions for you guys is, what ways have you seen monsters portrayed? I am lucky enough to have started visiting so many different types of games, and I can't wait to see more. So I've thankfully been exposed to some other types of ways of doing things, and that has been really fun. And I really liked this topic and I wanted to talk about it with you guys because I don't see many people talking about it a lot. Um, but remember, you guys, everyone does things differently, and that's why I want to talk about it, so that we can get the conversation going and learn how we all do things and how we do things differently, and even how we might do things the same. I would love to know. Please leave a comment below or even make a video response, and have an awesome day.